Hello, and thank you for visiting the Prepared outside of Massachusetts and obtaining a Supervisor Director non-core license as my first administrator license component of the Massachusetts Educator Licensure Series, often referred to as MELS. For the purpose of this presentation, the phrase prepared outside of Massachusetts applies to individuals who satisfy any of the following outside of Massachusetts for a Supervisor Director license: a state-approved preparation program, an educator preparation program sponsored by a college or university, accredited by a national organization accepted by the commissioner, or possession of a license issued by another state that is the equivalent of at least an initial supervisor director license. Throughout this presentation, there will be references to finding additional information such as guides, forms, and other websites. You can find links to these resources within the overview located directly beneath this video. When selecting the type of Supervisor Director license, please keep the following in mind. A Supervisor Director license is required for individuals employed for one half-time or more as a director, department head, or curriculum specialist in the field and at the grade level of the prerequisite license. For example, employment as a full-time chair of the physical education department would require possession of the Supervisor Director non-core license and a physical education teacher license. Please also keep the following in mind. A professional license cannot be obtained as your first school administrator license. An educator with at least 3 years of experience under a valid school administrator license from another state or jurisdiction that is comparable to a supervisor director license may qualify for a temporary license. A passing score on both portions of the communication and literacy skills test is a requirement to obtain an initial license. However, taking this test is not required to earn a temporary school administrator license. If you do not qualify for a temporary license, you should be applying for an initial supervisor director license as your first administrator license in Massachusetts. And Massachusetts participates with every state and the District of Columbia through the NASDAQ Interstate Agreement for all school administrator licenses. A temporary license is valid for 1 year of employment. Initial licenses are valid for 5 years of employment. As a reminder, if you have satisfied one of the 3 options on this slide, for example, you completed a New Hampshire state-approved Supervisor Director Licensure program at the University of New Hampshire, this presentation is for you. If you have not satisfied one of these options, a potential option exists for those with a post-baccalaureate program in management/administration, or at least 3 full years of employment in an executive, management, leadership, supervisory, or administrative role. This option is the panel review. If you are interested in this option, please visit the Prepared in Massachusetts and obtain a Supervisor Director non-core license as my first initial administrator license component of MELS. Otherwise, let's continue by taking a closer look at the temporary license. Individuals who have a bachelor's degree, hold a valid license comparable to a Massachusetts Supervisor Director license, and have 3 years of employment in the role of the license, may qualify for a temporary license. For example, Susan holds a valid Pennsylvania Supervisory Elementary K-6 license. She was employed full-time by the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Public School District for the past 3 years as a supervisor of the elementary department. Susan is a good candidate for a temporary license. However, please be advised that an individual who failed any portion or passed all portions of the communication and literacy skills test is not eligible for a temporary administrator license. In addition, the department does not consider a test failed and subsequently passed as a failed test. A temporary license is valid for 1 year of employment and is non-renewable. Educators employed under a temporary supervisor director license for 1 year have a professional responsibility to obtain an initial supervisor director license before starting their next year of employment in the role of the license in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. We will cover means to satisfy and document requirements towards the end of this presentation. Requirements for supervisor director licenses vary depending on associated prerequisite licenses. If you're not sure of the specific Supervisor Director license you should be seeking based on a prerequisite license held, please visit the Which Supervisor Director video should I visit component of MELS. Otherwise, let's continue. Routes to initial licensure exist for those prepared in Massachusetts, as well as for those prepared outside of Massachusetts. As a reminder, being prepared outside of Massachusetts involves the successful completion of one of the pathways on this slide. For example, the following school administrators were prepared outside of Massachusetts. Peter completed a Pennsylvania state-approved Supervisor of Curriculum and Instruction program through Bloomsburg University. Paul completed a Supervisor of Curriculum and Instruction program through Kutztown University. Kutztown University is accredited by the National Council for the Accreditation of Teacher Education, which is a national organization accepted by the Massachusetts Commissioner of Education. And Mary has an MBA and substantial experience as an executive director. She earned a license that is comparable to the Massachusetts Supervisor Director license through the Texas Education Agency. The agency deemed Mary's education and experience was at least equal to the educator preparation received through a formal educator preparation program. An overview of requirements to earn a Supervisor Director non-core license as your first initial administrator license include possession of a bachelor's degree and achieving a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills Test. In addition, each license has a prerequisite license requirement and requires the following: at least 3 full years of employment in a leadership, supervisory, teaching, or administrative role in an educational setting accepted by the department, and completion of a pathway noted on the previous slide. Individuals seeking a Supervisor Director non-core early childhood, elementary, moderate disabilities, or severe disabilities license are also required to possess the SCI Administrator endorsement or the SCI Teacher endorsement. Let's take a look at ways to satisfy and document requirements. To document possession of a bachelor's degree, applicants should upload an official undergraduate transcript that includes the registrar's signature, verifying a bachelor's degree conferred, along with the conferral date and all coursework within. The degree must be completed through a college or university accredited by a recognized organization. Applicants who earn a degree outside of the United States through a college or university not accredited by a recognized organization should upload a degree equivalency report made by a nationally recognized agency. Statute requires a bachelor's degree. Therefore, applicants with graduate degrees still must submit verification of a bachelor's degree. The testing company submits communication and literacy skill test results to the Office of Educator Licensure electronically. You can find additional information pertaining to how to upload documents, recognized accrediting organizations, nationally recognized agencies, and MTEL through the links contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. Prerequisite employment may occur in or outside of Massachusetts. To document prerequisite employment, please upload a completed school-based employment verification/induction and mentoring form, or a letter as noted on this slide, verifying the required employment. You can find the school-based employment verification/induction and mentoring form through the link beneath this video. As for a prerequisite license, if you currently possess the prerequisite license in Massachusetts, then the Office of Educator Licensure will verify that the requirement has been met. A prerequisite license requirement may also be satisfied through possession of a comparable license from another state or jurisdiction. Therefore, if you are attempting to document possession of a prerequisite license, please upload a copy of the license. Instead, you may upload a letter signed by the authorized signatory, written on official letterhead from the issuing authority, stating the field, grade level, and type of the license held. If you cannot obtain either of the aforementioned, you may upload a copy of the issuing authority's electronic file verifying the license you hold, along with the official URL for that file. Please upload an official transcript or official program completion documentation and an endorsement to verify the completion of either of the educator preparation programs on this slide comparable to the initial license sought. Endorsements must specify the field and grade level of the program you completed. The endorsement may be included on the official transcript or program completion documentation, in a letter written on official program letterhead signed by the program administrator, registrar, dean, or certification/licensure officer, or on the verification of completion of an approved educator preparation program outside of Massachusetts form. To document possession of a license comparable to the Massachusetts Academic Administrator license sought, please upload a copy of your credential. If you are not able to provide a hard copy, then please upload a signed letter written on official letterhead from the issuing authority stating the field, grade level, and type of the credential you hold. An authorized signatory must sign this letter. If you're not able to provide either of the aforementioned documents, please upload a copy of the issuing authority's electronic file verifying the credential issued, along with the official URL for that file. Supervisor directors who supervise or evaluate core academic teachers who provide sheltered English instruction to English learners should earn the SEI teacher endorsement or SEI administrator endorsement. You may earn the SEI teacher endorsement through any of the four following options. 1. Successful completion of a department-approved course of study specific to providing sheltered English instruction. The standalone course provider or approved course provider verifies this option electronically. 2. Pass and score in the Sheltered English Immersion Test. 3. Possession of a Massachusetts English as a Second Language or English Language Learner's License. This license cannot be a temporary license or a professional license that is invalid. And 4. Possession of a bachelor's degree in a major approved by the department or graduate level training approved by the department. This option is a transcript review and generally involves the completion of graduate courses completely covering the subject matter knowledge and skill requirements set forth in the regulations. You may earn the SEI administrative endorsement through obtaining an SEI teacher endorsement or through the successful completion of a department-approved course of study specific to providing sheltered English instruction. Department-approved course providers verify this option electronically. You can find additional information about all options to earn an SEI endorsement through the SEI link contained within the overview, located directly beneath this video. Please keep the following in mind. An initial license is valid for 5 years of employment. Educators employed under an initial license for 5 years have a professional responsibility to advance the initial license to a professional license before starting their next year of employment in the role of the license in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about educator licensure in Massachusetts. Thank you also for being an educator or aspiring to become one. Your efforts are commendable and greatly appreciated. We hope this component of MELS has been helpful. Please visit other components of the series for additional information about educator licensure. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call the Licensure Call Center at 781-338-6600 or stop by and visit us in person at our walk-in service counter at 75 Pleasant Street, Malden, Massachusetts.